welcome back here on this Roundtable edition on this Sunday. We appreciate, as always, you spending some time with us, talking, having a cancer conversation. So glad to have our guest with us the last segment, and glad to have Andrew Mariani from the American Cancer Society here with us as well this afternoon. You watched a little bit of that last interview, and as you see these steps being taken, how much does it help the American Cancer Society's mission when there are other factions out there? There are sixth graders out there trying to draw attention to what we're all dealing with.
I think it'd be hard pressed for anyone to not know somebody that's dealing with cancer at some point in their life, either a friend, a relative, or a neighbor. Mm-hmm. However, we've all been touched by cancer in certain ways, and this just helps remind people in a positive way, because so many times it's always thought of as a negative thing, that each of us have a part. We can do something about it. We can create awareness. We can help fundraise, do something so collectively as a community we can fight cancer together.
Is the ACS one of those organizations like so many? St. Baldrick's looking to raise, as we heard, the foundation down at BGSU this weekend trying to raise $15,000. But money, I'm sure, as you guys try to fundraise and things like that, as the economy improves, the fundraising does as well?
Yes. Money allows us the opportunity to
Sure.
Money allows us the opportunity to fund more research, help more universities. University of Toledo is a beneficiary of a research grant that we offered. Across Ohio and Pennsylvania, we fund over $50 million in research projects going on right now, from Ohio State University to Cleveland Clinic to University of Pittsburgh. But that's only a fourth of what we do. We also use this money. The money that we raise goes back towards services and programs we offer here locally in Toledo, in Bowling Green, across Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan.
You know, we're just having a general conversation here with Andrew Mariani from the American Cancer Society as far as cancer is concerned. And you said something very interesting before we came back, and you said there are certain times of the year when this really comes to the forefront. Obviously, last weekend, on a huge scale with the national football audience, that the Colts game and those cheerleaders shaving their heads in solidarity with others who are battling cancer, including the Indianapolis Colts coach. But you said there are certain times of the year when people think about it, certain times of the year, a big portion of the year, when they don't.
At the American Cancer Society, we try to help every community every day with every cancer. And cancer is 24/7, 365. However, at times, people become more aware of it, maybe during Breast Cancer Awareness Month or in the springtime for Skin Cancer Awareness Month. But there's opportunities for people to take advantage of all year round. This weekend, also at the University of Toledo, we'll be working with their students on a Relay for Life, which is a fundraising event that we do. A couple of weekends ago, we did one at Bowling Green State University. Wonderful events. It's an opportunity for people to celebrate people who are survivors, remember those who have people have lost, and feel like they can still do something.
Right.
And it also helps in the healing process. I know when people have shaved their heads or lost their hair because of treatment, watching people's hair grow back is part of that healing process.
Sure.
And when we were talking about the Indianapolis Colts team, the cheerleaders shaving their heads, it reminded me of when I was younger. Remember the first times I saw, and it became an awareness piece for me, was there was an Olympic volleyball team, and the men's team, there was one gentleman on the team that had cancer, and he had a bald head. And in the finals or the semifinals, the entire team came out in the Olympics, and they all shaved their heads. It was a wonderful event. It's something that I remember and has taken with me the rest of my life. And this is something, again, people remember. It's like, oh, I shaved my head. Why did you shave your head?
Right.
For cancer, to bring awareness towards.
And I'm thinking, as you said that, and it got my mind turning, there are probably going to be a number of classmates of Constance Christensen who, when they look back on their days in junior high, on their days in high school, and this is already the second time she's done it, they're going to remember, you remember Connie? Remember when Connie would shave her head because of cancer research? And the one thing, and we talked about this off camera as well, and I wanted to have a conversation with you talking about those who, and I even posted this on Facebook before our show, I wanted to answer the question, those who have not been touched by cancer yet, should we all just physically, I'm saying, I've been touched by cancer, my father has had it and beaten it so far, knock on wood, but should we all be relegated to the fact that it's going to get us? I mean, is that too grim? Is that too dark?
It's a little dark.
Yeah.
However, for those who maybe, you hate for somebody to wait till it affects somebody that either themselves or somebody they know before they act on it. And part of my job is to make sure people are aware that there's things they can do, little choices people make every day that can reduce their risk of getting cancer. First thing, people just become informed. We have a wonderful website, it's cancer.org. You can find all facts of information on things that cause cancer, things that don't cause cancer, if you have a question about something like that, or things you can do just in your daily routine to reduce your risk from not smoking, which seems like it shouldn't be an issue anymore, but lung cancer is still the leading cause of death.
Right.
Especially
and just this last week, you bring that up, just this last week, the tobacco companies were told they have to put warning labels on their packs telling people,
yes,
these are bad for you.
The Surgeon General has been telling people with those warning labels
sure.
since I think the 1960s,
right.
that obviously that this is something that's going to hurt you.
Right.
And we still fight with that today.
But continue, you were
yes,
saying.
And other things, getting exercise, simple things like that, having a proper nutrition. The same things that reduce your risk for getting heart disease, diabetes, are the same things that can help reduce your risk of getting certain types of cancer. Your heart is a pump in your body. It pumps in nutrients and it pumps out toxins. Those toxins can increase your risk of not only heart disease and diabetes, but certain types of cancers. And being physically active and eating properly and not smoking are the best things you can do at this point, or today,
yeah.
To reduce certain risks. There's two things you can't have any change, and that's your age. We're
right.
all getting older, and your family history. Mm-hmm. But knowing about your family history also is important. Is a great weapon to have when you're speaking with your doctor or somebody asks you, it's like, do you have a family history of prostate cancer?
Right.
Do you have a family history of any type of cancer? Having those conversations with your doctor is important, because then if we can find it earlier, your chances of survivor go up.
Yeah. So definitely, obviously, me specifically, as I turn it back, the focus to me,
sure.
I need to go in there, make sure I get those prostate checks, make sure I let my doctor have an open conversation there.
Right.
With somebody like Connie, who said her dad at 15 battled non-Hodgkin's lymphoma
right.
and beat it. But, I mean, those are stories that are being told that you guys at the ACS are hoping kind of flick on the light bulb for people.
Right. I hope people take it as an opportunity, as a catalyst to inspire them to say, you know, next time I see my doctor, I'm going to bring this up, or maybe they'll go to our website, cancer.org, or call our national number, 800-227-2345, mm-hmm. to ask for help or information, saying, I know somebody's going through cancer, or I have concern about a question about cancer. And we pride ourselves in being a credible source of information. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of stories out there, and sometimes that gets confusing. Does this cause cancer? Does this not cause cancer? However, we try to make sure people get the accurate information, because we're talking about our lives.
Right. Let's put the focus this way, and you brought up all the things you can do. You can eat better, you can get better rest, you can exercise. But if somebody's sitting at home and they're saying to themselves, well, I don't get any of those things, or I don't do any of those things,
right.
and can I start today, and will that make a difference? I know you're not a doctor, I'm not a doctor, but as we look and research has shown, if somebody is going to start a life change, and we're coming up on New Year's,
right.
so people are making those resolutions all the
yep.
time. Does it make a difference?
Yes. I've had spoken with people that have say, I've been smoking for 40 years. It doesn't make a difference for me to stop smoking now. Yes, it does. You can still reduce your risk if you stop. Every day is a good day to stop smoking, mm-hmm. or use any type of tobacco. So yes, there's still benefits that can be taken advantage of by stopping smoking, reducing your risk. And the other thing I like people to remind themselves of is, you know, I've had a survivor come up to me and she says, I ate well, I exercised every day, I didn't smoke, and I still got cancer.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's wonderful. And he said, well, why should I have? Because you've reduced your risk of other things too. You don't have heart disease. Unfortunately, a lot of times there's viable treatments for people.
Yeah.
However, they can't take advantage of them all the time because they're not well enough.
Yeah.
So, for example, I had a survivor tell me, I couldn't have the surgery because I have heart disease. Mm-hmm. Here's a person with a viable option towards treatment, but can't take advantage of it because unfortunately he also has heart disease, and so he's not eligible for surgery.
Yeah.
So again, you're reducing your risk and increasing your risk for treatment too.
And you said family history is one of those things that really plays into it.
Yes.
You know, just this last week, there was a story that came out, and Rex Damschroeder, state representative from Fremont, introduced a measure that it's aimed at improving childhood cancer detection and reporting in Ohio. This kind of comes on the heels of the investigation in Clyde for that cancer cluster there. But as we look at stories like this and more stories, and I go back, I say it again, later this week, the basketball game with the guys wearing the new uniforms, the girls on the cheerleading squad cutting their hair, Connie doing it, and stories like this, bringing it to the forefront. Does it make a difference?
Yes, it makes a difference because we have to make sure it becomes a presence of mind. It's not something that we always put on the back burner.
Do you look at it proactive or reactive?
I like to think of it proactively.
Okay.
The American Cancer Society, we've been around for 100 years. Our mission, in a nutshell, is cancer is the second leading cause of death. We don't want it to be the second leading cause of death anymore. We can do a lot. We can make great strides in changing that by preventing people from getting cancer and then helping those who do have cancer have longer survivorship. And we have to engage everyone. This is everyone's responsibility on some level because it affects everyone.
Yeah.
So there's any opportunity to remind people of the importance of cancer research.
Take that chance.
Doing
Take that
something.
opportunity.
Yes, and I'm happy to report we're going to be doing with a partnership with the University of Toledo. We're going to be doing a cancer prevention study in the spring. It's going to be an opportunity for the community to help out.
We'll be sure to follow that. Andrew, thank you, and we so appreciate it. We'll wrap things up right after this.